Hey guys, this is Reggie coming to you from the NYC. I just wanted to jump on here real quick to share with you guys. Let me fix this camera. Lord. Just wanted to share with you guys something very, very important. Men, you really need to hear this. Ladies, if you love him, you need to share this with him. The other day, I got a message from someone who was asking me about my weight loss journey, and they were asking me what I did and the products that I was using, did they really work? And I said, yes, absolutely. 2.5 years ago, I was 275 pounds actually. And in my first month, I was able to lose over 20 something pounds. Now, the products that I was using, they're not weight loss products. The weight loss was the result of me improving my health from the inside out. But with that, I also had to change my mindset. I had to change my behavior. I had to change the way I thought. I had to change the way I ate if I really seriously wanted to have some progress. Now, the great thing about what I didn't necessarily have to change my diet per se. But as I started feeling better, started feeling stronger, the inclination to change became stronger. And then I did more research, more study, and subsequently I changed the patterns of the way I ate. I drank more water, which is something that many people do not do. We do not drink enough water per day. And I changed my diet. I started eating less bread. I started eliminating the sugars from my diet. And just overall started eating more leafy green vegetables, just things like that. But here's the reason why I'm on here today. Unfortunately, a lot of men do not take the same regard for their health as women do. We really don't. We don't go to the doctor enough. We don't get checkups. We don't check our blood pressure. We don't check our sugar levels in our systems. And, we got that machismo thing going on, and we just like, I got this. But guys, you're very important. And I want you to know you're very important to your family. You're very important to the people who are around you. Have you ever considered the fact that in your family dynamic, if something were to happen to you, how it would adversely affect your family financially? Many of us we do not have proper life insurance. We don't have living wills. There are other things to our lives that we need to take care of. And when we lose a loved one, particularly when we're talking about a male who's the head of a household, not only do we leave our family at a loss because we're no longer there, but we put them in a financial burden because we don't prepare. One of the ways that you can help yourself financially is you can work on your health. So, like I said, I had a question where somebody had asked me, how did I lose 75 pounds and how do I keep the weight off? And I said, not only was it through the products that I was using through my company, Total Life Changes, learning about detoxing was so important. The information that I learned about detoxing was amazing. I came across a story where when they did the autopsy, if you guys can remember, I'm kind of telling my age, but if you guys can remember who John Wayne was, he was like America's cowboy and all this, he was like the standard, quote unquote, for the country at the time, he was a living legend. But I came across a story that when he died and they did an autopsy on his body, they found over 25 pounds of solid waste in his colon, in his upper and lower intestines. Now, this goes on with each and every one of us. We all have intestinal sludge in our body. And when and if you ever go to have a colonoscopy, okay, they could tell you by the images how long it's been in your body. Now, how does that come to be? How do we get that in our system? Well, unfortunately, right now, the air that we drink, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, A lot of the foods that we eat, particularly processed foods, foods that are in plastic containers, that or come in bags, poultry, meat, fish. There are things that our body just doesn't digest fully, because they're the funniest thing to me was there's a Purdue chicken commercial where they talk about we feed our chickens natural water and no antibiotics. No antibiotics. I didn't think, first of all, if you're farming out or you're doing, chickens or cows, I always thought they were giving them regular water, but apparently they're not. Chickens, antibiotics. Why are you giving something that I'm going to eat antibiotics? And more importantly, if you're giving the antibiotics, when I ingest them, it's going into my system and building up. So one of the things that we suffer from, where a lot of us, where you have that feeling of bloatingness, or you have like back pain, and you can't describe it, it's because many times we're impacted with intestinal sludge that doesn't remove out of our body. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do in terms of improving the way that you eat. Some people say they go vegan. You can do so many different things, but here's the one thing that many of us do not do. And we do not detoxify our bodies. We do not do things to remove the toxins, and more important, to remove that sedentary waste that's built up in our bodies, because over time it compromises our immune system and it leads into other issues such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and an assortment of other illnesses that can derive from that when our immune system is compromised. Now, how do you remove this intestinal waste? One way that you can at least assist in removing it is you got to make sure that you're drinking enough water, because this waste in your body has solidified. It's become hard. It's become it's become hard in your body. So it's more like a hard clay substance. So by drinking more water each day, it will help make it a little bit more soluble, where it can pass through your body. Now, what does this stuff contain? Not only does it contain toxins that go into your blood system, but here's another thing that many people don't know. This is where parasites live in our system. When you see people who say that they're suffering from lack of vitamins, and they're tired and they're groggy and they're cranky, you have parasites that are living in your system that gather in your large and small intestine, okay, and in your colon. You have to remove these things. So how can we remove them? You can remove them by detoxifying. You can look at your diet. You can cut back on sugars. Sodas help build up in your systems. If you're taking medicines, if you're taking pills, the majority of people fail to realize that when you take a pill, and the pharmaceutical companies and your doctors don't tell you this, but when you take a pill, your body, if it's a hard pill, your body will only absorb maybe 20 to 30% of that pill, and the rest of it will come out in your waste. But this builds up in your liver. It builds up in your kidneys. It builds up in your bowels. It builds up in your colon. It builds up in your large intestines and your small intestines. So you have to remove that waste. Now, the additional benefit to removing that waste from your body is weight loss. Why? Because you're removing anywhere from up to 5 to 25 pounds of waste that is sitting in your body, and it is causing you problems and issues. One of the things that I love to read and I love to study, because I had to study my own body. I had to study what worked. And more importantly, I had to come up with a way to share this information with people, because I want people to live. My family history also played a major role. My mother had diabetic complications, and I recently just lost a sister 2 months ago who also passed away from diabetic complications, okay? And this is not something that I wanted to do. I did not want to take insulin. I did not want to take injections. I didn't want to do these things. So a couple of years ago, when I started my journey, I went to the doctor, and lo and behold, one of my fears surfaced. I went, had some blood work done. The doctor came back, had me come back to the office and said, listen, we want to put you on some diabetic medicines. They were going to give me the pills at first. And then they also said, you also have hypertension, your cholesterol's out of whack, and all this other stuff. And I was like, no. You know what I mean? No. Thank you. I answered to a higher doctor, which is my Father in heaven. But I said, listen, I will do what I need to do because I have to be around. I'm a single father. I had to be around for my daughter. But more importantly, what I had to do was I had to change the way I thought. I had to change my mindset. Okay? I wasn't active. I sat around and I loved watching football. I wasn't doing things. I wasn't going out. And, it's just how some of us live. But you got to understand, very slowly and surely, it will affect your body. I wasn't sleeping well. My body had aches and pains in my joints, and then I realized it's because I wasn't detoxing my body, and these parasites were taking over my body and making me ill. So I learned about detoxing. I learned about the importance of drinking water. I learned about the importance of how do I get these things out of my system. Now, can we remove all of them? No. But you can remove the majority of them if you change the way you eat, the way you think, and what you do. So today I want to share with you guys, and this for the ladies that's on here, if you love your man, share this information with them. But I want to share this book with you guys, The Black Man's Guide to Good Health. In this book, it addressed some of the things that we talked about. It talks about diabetes. It talks about hypertension. And what people don't understand is when you have diabetes or you're pre-diabetic, it affects your other major organs. It affects your heart. It affects your lungs. It affects your liver. It affects your kidneys. And it slowly but surely breaks down your entire body. This book I recommend, The Black Man's Guide to Good Health, solely because we as black men, we do not take as good of care of our health as we possibly can. I share this because there are too many of my friends now who are passing away from complications and diseases that can be easily dealt with just by doing simple things of cutting down the sugars, cutting out a little bread, cutting out bread actually, cutting out white grain products, rice, different things. And I love rice. I love sugar. Trust me, you cannot put sweets around me. Ice cream, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I had to look at the larger picture. I want to be here to see my daughter get married. I want to be here to see my grandchildren grow up. I want to be here. But if I don't take care of my health, which is my wealth, I won't be here for these things. I have too many friends who are developing illnesses, but they won't change their habits. And I understand. In this country, as perverse as it is, it's easier to eat junk food than it is to eat healthy. And there's something wrong with that. But if you understand world economics, it's done primarily because there are some people who are capitalizing off your ill health. One industry in particular is the pharmaceutical company. Have you ever noticed? You go to the doctor, you're diagnosed with some type of symptoms. What's the first thing they do? They prescribe you some medicine. Okay, you start taking that medicine. After a while, because your body is meant to heal itself. So after a while, you start taking that medicine, your body starts to reject that. You go back to the doctor and says, well, listen, I'm having this complication. So he says, okay, keep taking that medicine, but here's another one. Then here's another one. It's been my experience in my business that I've come in contact with people. And again, we don't mitigate any diseases and we do not make any medical claims. I can only share with you my testimony and testimony of others who have benefited from the use of the products that we provide in Total Life Changes. But I have come in contact with people and know people right now And you may know some people just the same that are taking, it might even be you, that you're taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 pills a day. But you're not feeling any better. And what they're not telling you is the toxicity of the medicines that you're taking is building up and building up and building up in your system. So you need to develop a plan. You need to develop a plan. You need to develop a mindset that you can control your body. You can turn things around. It's not as hard as you may think. Again, drinking less sugary drinks, adding more water into your system, flushes things out, helps you to function at a higher level. It brings about clarity when you begin to detox your body. It helps to take away joint pains. It helps to, the byproduct helps you to lose weight. For example, many of us don't know that for every pound of weight that you lose off your body, and this is for the people who have back and lower back and knee pains, every pound of weight that you lose off your body, you lose 4 pounds, You take 4 pounds of pressure off your knees for every pound of weight that you lose off your body. That's amazing. But you got to understand, in the system, the pharmaceutical system, in the medical system, unfortunately, the cure, the profit for them is not in the cure. The profit is in the comeback. And you say, well, Reggie, what do you mean by that? The pharmaceutical companies make money off prescription drugs. Doctors, a portion of what they make in terms of income comes from prescribing prescription drugs. You see the connection? So it's not that they don't want you to get healthy, but they want you to stay addicted to the legalized drugs. They're not telling you the total truth of how it adversely affects your body, how it builds up in your body, how it contributes to other issues that you may have in your body. So, like I said, the title of the video is self-explanatory. Ladies, if you really love your man, or if there's a male in your family, your father, your brother, your sister, your father, your brother, your cousin, whoever it is, whatever male, somebody that you care about, you need to like this video, share this video with your friends. Do me a favor, hit the notification button so you know when I come on. I want to thank the people. This started on YouTube, and I moved it over to live, so I want to thank my YouTube viewers for indulging me by now acknowledging the people that I see that's on here. I see Anna Sanchez. I want to thank you for joining me today. Aaron Alexander, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Anybody else that was on here that I didn't see or I didn't shout out, listen, my apologies, but look, this message today is for my brothers and sisters. And it's not just black men. That's just the title of this book. This is men in general. Men in general do not take care of their health. And ladies, you have a great influence on us. So if you have somebody in your family that's a male that you love, encourage them to go to the doctor. I did a change, and I just turned 56 a couple of days ago, but I'm not thrilled with the fact of a medical procedure where they decide to shove a hose. Hey, there's my friend Tanja G. How you doing, love? Love you so much. I'm not thrilled with the idea of a colonoscopy and somebody shoving a hose up my backside. That's not really, not something on my bucket list. You know what I mean? I understand the importance of it, and I will have to have the procedure done, but it's not something that I'm looking to, embrace, okay? It's not on my list of things to do, but it is, quote unquote, a necessary evil. But because I understand the importance of detoxing, because I understand the importance of drinking the proper amount of water for my body, because I read and I look in and I'm very serious about my health, And because I mentor, coach, and share with others the importance of their health. You know, many of us say, I want to be around for my family, and I want to do these things, I want to do that, but they won't make the adjustment they need to make for their health so they can be around. Each and every one of you under the sound of my voice, those of you who are watching now and those who watch the rebroadcast, believe me, you're very important to me. I wouldn't do this if you weren't. Okay, my friend Tanja is a warrior. I'm not going to share her story because I don't have her permission to do so. But I can tell you this. When it comes to challenges, and she knows this for a fact. You can give me some thumbs up, Tanja, but I always call her, she's my Shiro. Okay? Whenever I decide or I feel that I'm not 100% or I don't feel like pushing myself today, I think about Tanja. I really do. I think about her because she's been an inspiration in my life, you know, because of just how fierce she is and how aggressive she is and how faith-filled she is and how she is just such a phenomenal woman of God. She's just so amazing. And I just appreciate that. Hey, Derek Germany, how you doing? You're going to have to catch the beginning of this video. But what I'm talking about, guys, very important. I'm talking about our health. I'm talking about men and our health because we don't do all the things that is necessary to take care of ourselves so we can be around for our families. So with that, I want you guys to know, I want you again to hit the notification button so you know when I come on, so I can share some more great information and content with you. Like and share this video with your friends. This is a very important message. Men, we need to take care of our health. We really, really do. A lot of things that we're neglecting are very, very easy to take care of. They're very easy to deal with. If you want to know more information about detoxing or the products that I use to lose 75 pounds and to be able to keep it off, you can leave comments for me here on this video or you can inbox me, okay? Do me a favor. You can go over to my YouTube channel, Hollis205, and you can subscribe and like my videos over there too, all right? So other than that, I want you guys to have a great day. I love you all. May God continue to bless you, and I will talk to you really, really soon.